You're listening to the Authentic Online Marketing Podcast, and I am your host, Ruthie Gray. And how in the world are you? It's spring, the birds are out, the blooms are coming, the daffodils are blooming, and the sun. You guys, I live in West Virginia part-time. The sun never shines there. It's starting to shine. Thank goodness it's time for some sun, right? For today's topic, we're going to talk about why you need to move your clients off rented space and onto your email list. You see, there are so many platforms at our fingertips now to take advantage of and build your client base. And as you know, my favorite is Instagram. I've done a lot of business there and continue to gain leads and generate weekly conversations via direct messenger. Even so, social media platforms are rented space. And we can't always rely on that rented space to deliver. If you truly want connection with clients and potential clients, take them to a place that allows freedom to know you better and take advantage of your services. In this video, we discuss how to get those clients interested in your newsletter, but not overwhelmed or bored. It's a place to take them deeper where they get that inside information beyond your surface content while also building a rapport with them. In this snapshot from a previous training inside Authentic Online Marketing School, you'll learn why a newsletter is essential in those next steps and how to take your clients to a space you own and why I feel so strongly about this. And now, listen in.
Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over clamor so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you. Because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial.
So I would love feedback on, I'll just give you a little bit of the context and then I'll tell you the experiment I'm about to run. But before I do it, jump in, I want some other wisdom. Okay, so I am growing my list from scratch. Okay, I'm just because of this pivot. And I'm getting real burned out on building my list right now because the more I think about it, I spent a lot of time last week just focusing on my ideal client, who am I speaking to and all that stuff. And what I've discovered from talking to my current clients and other people in the DMs, I do very well in conversation. That's where I shine when I talk to clients or potential clients. And what I've discovered is they don't want a newsletter. Like my client is a busy business owner who has a podcast or wants a podcast, sees the value of it, doesn't have time for the tech and learning all the things and all the stuff that's involved. Audio editing is like talking Russian or Greek or whatever. That's not what they want, but they see the value of having a podcast and they do want they understand that they have to record it. The content has to come from them, but they're already doing content. So it's not a biggie and they don't need another newsletter. They don't care. So what I'm thinking of experimenting with is do it rather than saying, sign up for more information. So as opposed to saying, sign up for the newsletter and you get the 5 questions to ask as you interview a podcast manager, DM me the word interview or whatever. And I'll send you that. And then I start a conversation with the person so that now I won't have their email address, but I'll have their contact information. I'll have their Instagram and we can talk and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I'd like feedback for. Maybe we should pause here and see if...
Okay, let's pause. The only thing is, you're doing that conversation on rented space and you own your email list. So you still need their email.
Okay.
I still think that you should send a newsletter once a month. You could at least do that because they're busy. And what you do is you continue with these conversations, but you draw from all the conversations that you have for the month. You start a Google Doc of all their pain points, and then you just answer 2 or 3 questions or drop some links or resources in that newsletter so that it's quick information that's consumable and will answer common questions.
Yeah, that rented space concept was, yeah. And I like the once a month thing because in my head, I've been doing a newsletter for so many years, but it's been like, it used to be weekly. Then I got it back to bi-weekly. But since I pivoted, I haven't sent a newsletter. I just send periodic checking in with you kind of thing. Because I was just so...
You need all of their email addresses. So the current clients, the potential clients, you just need to say, hey, as a client, one of the perks is getting my newsletter, which is going to be not a lot. It's only going to be once a month. And it's going to be information that you need based on research that I'm doing. And it's not going to be overwhelming. But I do need a way to, off of Instagram, communicate with you just to have as a backup, because I do not believe in only putting all my eggs in Instagram. So this is for your protection and mine.
And that's really a good point, because the times that I do send stuff out, it's very specifically related to what's going on with my clients. And they've said, oh gosh, thanks for looking into that. It's well received. Okay. It's getting people on the list that's been the issue. And it's not that they don't want the freebie, because I've got plenty of people who subscribe, get the freebie, and then unsubscribe. They clearly don't want a regular thing. But my welcome email says that you'll be hearing from me 2 to 3 times a month, which might be sounding overwhelming.
That might be the turnoff. The welcome email delivers the freebie, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you just tell them exactly what we just talked about, that you're going to hear from me once a month. It's going to be answering questions that I get all the time. It's going to be brief, not overwhelming. It's just information you need, maybe a resource, maybe one resource or two.
Okay. So that kind of settles that for me. So I think where I'm leaning towards, I will do the DM me to start conversations, but then I won't totally delete the concept of the email list. I like that idea. That gives me something to move on. I did have the thing about the DMs. I did have that. I knew there was something I was missing, and it's the rented space, which I know, duh. Yeah. We've been talking about this for years.
Yes, we have. And it's, if one day Instagram goes down and Facebook goes down, you can't get a hold. Like, what if you have something that you needed to deliver or they needed to tell you so you can move on with the project? You're sunk. We can't depend on them. They're flaky. You never know when they're going to change. You never know when they're going to charge for whatever. They're just reeling us in on stuff.
Yeah, I know. One of the things that I wanted, my DMs, one of the links would have been to Let's Chat. And it's the link to my Calendly to schedule a call, because I want to get people face to face like this and do this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's still a process. And if you leave them in the funnel part that's still on Instagram, and as you say, Instagram goes down, then you've lost all those people. Okay. Yeah, good. That gives me something to work on. I think I'll do the mailer line thing. I think I may do that as an experiment, still do the DMs, but not get rid of the newsletter.
Not only is a newsletter going to tell your clients what they will receive, but it also opens the door of connection between you and them. You can tell them exactly what to look for from you and then deliver. If you are concise and consistent with them, they know what to expect and it's welcomed. You can do a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly newsletter to keep your services front and center for your clients so they will continue to view you as their go-to resource. Because let's face it, previous clients are often repeat clients, and warm bodies are way easier to market to than cold ones. Ask me how I know. Don't focus on rented space. Focus where your ownership lies. This is where things get personal. It's called social media for a reason. Direct your clients to a personal space where they can have some of those pain points relieved and open the door to deeper connection. How do you feel about this? Do you do a lot of your marketing and transactions through social media, or do you move them over to your email list? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. So hop on over to Instagram and weigh in. Every week, I have a carousel with information about the podcast episode. which we will link in the show notes as well. And you can click on that and comment and let us know if you are more comfortable doing client transactions on social media, or if you believe in moving to an email list and regularly emailing your clients. Don't forget to weigh in. Thanks so much for listening again. We so appreciate you. Until next time, remember to share your message your way in your own authentic voice.